Got some shocking news to share with you. Social Security payments could be cut up to $9,000 per year per person because of student loans. Now, this news is coming out as we're hearing debates coming out on Social Security in Congress as they keep talking about what needs to be done about Social Security, who's at fault, who's to blame. But as they argue about that, let me go over this right here. Social Security payments could be cut over student loan default. When we look at the details here, it could be reduced below $750 a month or $9,000 a year due to student loans and people with Social Security. So I'm going to play you the video clip of what's going on in Congress, how student loans could be affecting your Social Security check, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates regarding cuts, increases, bills, proposals. And this video is sponsored by my company, WiseSense. If you or anyone you know is looking to increase your credit score or remove negative items from your credit report, I got a link down in the description below. Book a free phone call with me and we could go over your credit and fix it. All right, let's get into it right here. So Social Security payments could be cut over student loan default. Up to $9,000 in annual Social Security benefits could be garnished over student loan default. So as millions of borrowers prepare to make their first student loan payments in 3 years, some of those who've been making payments for decades may take a hit to their retirement benefits. Under current law, seniors can have their Social Security benefits garnished to repay student loans in default. Social Security beneficiaries could lose 15% of their monthly benefits, according to a post by the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland. However, these benefits can't be reduced below $750 a month or $9,000 a year. A supplemental security income, or SSI, can't be offset to repay student loans in default. Currently, about 6.2% federal student loan borrowers are 62 or older, and the average borrower is in the cohort or owes $41,780 in federal education debt, including Parent Plus loans. Additionally, Social Security recipients who are in default on student loans could be at risk of having about $2,300 in benefits garnished. Social Security benefit withholding could be set off after a student loan has been delinquent for 425 days and the borrower fails to restart payments following the notification from the Department of Education. So when it comes to student loan default, looks like there could be some losses there. Now, Biden launches student loan default safety net program. So the Education Department announced an on-ramp program running from October 1st to September 30th, 2024. According to the White House, financially vulnerable borrowers who miss monthly payments during this period and are not considered delinquent reported to credit bureaus, placed in default, or referred to debt collection agencies. So this on-ramp is part of President Joe Biden's initiative to expand student debt relief. That includes the new Saving on a Valuable Education, also known as SAVE, income-driven repayment IDR plan. So far, more than 44 million borrowers have enrolled in this program, which could lower monthly payments to zero. So looks like President Biden putting out certain plans to help with student loans. Haven't gotten that full student loan cancellation yet, but looks like there's a lot of different programs to kind of help with the student loans. And at this point, looks like there are multiple senior citizens who collect Social Security checks could be at default with their student loans and get garnished at the moment, but President Biden has a few plans to prevent that from happening. When it switching lanes here, if we talk about what's going on in Congress, who is at fault for all the disasters and failures at Social Security? Congress still duking it out. Take a look at this video clip right here.
You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member. This opportunity to discuss one of the nation's most effective anti-poverty programs, Social Security. I want to be clear. Social Security is earned. if the insurance people pay for every payday, it is the bedrock of retirement's security guarantee for nearly all of seniors. As a result of that question, I want to go to Ms. Burdick. In your testimony, you highlight the story of a client who had difficult qualifying for Social Security disabled, which we unfortunately is common for many Americans. Can you speak to the barriers individuals face when trying to access for Social Security disability benefits and how Congress can help remove these benefits?
Thank you for the question. There are a number of barriers, and I think, one of them is while applying. A lot of people get their health insurance through the acquisition of these SSDI benefits. So just from the beginning, if like with my first example with a woman who was terminated before she applied, she has an additional barrier of not being able to access health insurance during the application process, which makes it harder to establish that you have the disability. But because of, chronic disinvestment, there has been customer service problems at SSA, which make it harder to access the agency. Some of the recommendations that we've had, which I know SSA is working on and I think will go farther with more funding, is making sure more of the applications are online, making sure things are more accessible, that there are people to call to get help. It is a very complicated system, and although some people get representatives, and in order to help them, there aren't enough. And I think making sure there are enough claims representatives to help people navigate, to understand the problems is really, really important. But finally, having this additional effort to make sure that DDSs get it right the first time by really taking extra steps to make sure they're getting treating source evidence will help everyone access their benefits more quickly, because treating doctors are the ones that really know.
In your comments that you just made, and what Mr. Higgins questioned Ms. Davis, and specifically about Congress, talking about our responsibility, I'm not talking about Social Security, our responsibility. That's what I'm most interested in hearing you talk about, our responsibility.
Well, thank you for the clarification, and you're right. So one of the things that Congress can do is they can help rework the statute and the regs to make sure Social Security is focusing on treating source evidence. There was a rule that used to prioritize treating source evidence called the treating physician rule that was eliminated, and that should come back, because if everyone is focusing on the treating doctor, we will get to the right decision, or Social Security will get to the right decision earlier, which will really impact things. But the other thing that Congress can do is funding. Make sure not only it's one time, but sustained funding, so Social Security can do the work they need to do to make customer service better and make it easier to access these benefits.
I thank you for your clarity. And I say that to you because I just joked with Mr. Higgins, and he's from the great state of New York and Baltimore. He's a Baltimore Buffalo fan. So he and I have a constant running discussion. So from his clarity, I wanted to make sure we make this connection. So, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to the gentleman from Utah. Mr. Moore, you're now recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Rank.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. If you want to see President Biden's proposal for giving an additional $1,500 in Social Security checks, but it would cost Americans $270 billion, take a look at this video right here. So click that video. I'll go over all the details, and I'll see you in that video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.